Thank you, Audrey. Congratulations. I now present to you the valedictorian of the class of 2026, Beatrice, Garcia, and Antonio.
That's my mom, guys. Thank you, Mrs. Mann, for the beautiful introduction, Audrey for your speech and shout out. I'm a little nervous. Good afternoon, Sisters of Mercy, Archbishop Ryan Jimenez, Reverend Father Jeffrey C. San Nicholas, Academy Administration, faculty and staff, advisory board, my fellow classmates, and all their supporters. I'm filled with absolute gratitude to be able to stand before all of you today. Now, I'm not very good at writing formal speeches, but I am good at telling stories, so that's what I'm going to do. Earlier this year, I was guiltily confessing to Father Kidd about my act of disobedience against another priest. I said, last Sunday, the priest told us in his homily to live that day like it was our last day on earth, and I didn't do that. You know what I did? I went with my friends to 2 Night Market. So Father laughed at me a little bit, but then he asked me, if I could redo that day, what would I have done instead? Essentially, he was asking me what I thought a last day on earth should look like. I told him what I thought was an A+ answer, that I would simply spend the whole day alone in prayer. But then Father hit me with an Uno reverse card and showed me the problem of my limited understanding of a perfect last day. Because if we don't know the time or the hour that Jesus will come again, then we're supposed to live every day like it's our last. But does that mean that we should spend every single hour of every single day alone in prayer? No, that's not what God asks of us. He wants us to spend time with our friends and to give attention to the people we love. So the point isn't whether we should do these things, but how we do them. Because even ordinary moments can become holy when we do them in service to God. To love God is to invite Him into every aspect of your life, not just to quiet times or lonely spaces, but even to places like 2 Night Market. To be a disciple of Christ is to live in communion with the church and the members, to be around others, to laugh, to love, and even to suffer together. A perfect last day might not always involve meditating in solitude, but it will always involve loving one another. Because God designed us for companionship and wants us to be there for each other. When I reflect upon this honor I'm being awarded as my class's valedictorian, I see not my hard work, but the faces of the people who were there for me. There was a version of the speech where I named every single one of them with a message to each, but that ended up being 4 pages long, so I'm just going to say names. Thank you to the faculty and staff at the Academy, especially Mrs. Mann, Ms. Balta, and Ms. Labuena. My best friend Sadie and my Guerrero family, Mama Janae, Uncle Ben, and Nana. To my Cougar softball family, Coach Russ, Coach Riz, Coach Meg, Coach Sav, Coach Lay, and everyone who has impacted me through this sport. And to our beloved Coach Kim, who would always tell me how proud he was of me. I miss you, and if only heaven's not too cold, because even in Japan's 50-degree weather, you were still wearing shorts. I've only ever seen him wear shorts, honestly. May God's eternal light shine upon you, and may you rest in peace. May God bless your wife, Mom Viola, your daughter Kirsten, and your entire family. And from the bottom of my heart, I would like to thank my family, my god sister, and soon-to-be goddaughter Raya, my Nina Menchu, Uncle Czar, and the entire Italic family, my partner in crime, Cousin Kate, and her brother David, Auntie Nova, and all of my relatives in Guam and Texas, especially Auntie Joyce, Uncle Chris, and my Apu who flew in and are here today, my other Auntie Joyce, and my Uncle Peter, Nina Maria, Nina Drew, Nina Sarah, and Nina Olivia, really all of my Ninas and Ninos. I have a lot. My mom got excited and she just kept adding to the list. Sorry. And to my brothers, Brian and Brandon. Lastly, thank you to my parents, whose dreams have always been centered around helping me achieve mine. To my dad, who never spends a single penny on himself, but invests everything into making my brothers and I happy. who says I love you by asking me every day if my car has enough gas. And Mom, wherever are you? Anyone who really knows me also knows you. You're such a big part of my life and who I am as a person. You show me that strength comes from lifting others up. And if I could choose who to spend my last day with, I'd choose you every single time. To my fellow graduates, I know opening this new chapter in life can be scary, but know that you have people in your corner, that you're loved and that you're seen. And like the Archbishop said at our back mass, the Holy Spirit will guide you. A week ago, I told Father Kid, sometimes when I need to make a decision, I don't pray about it because I'm scared of the answer that God might give me. But the truth is, how could we ever be worried that a good God like ours wouldn't lead us towards the best path for each of us? There may be trials, there will be tribulations, but God will never give you anything you can't handle. I tried very hard not to make the speech sound so preachy, but there are things that just need to be said. Out of everything we've learned in the Academy, I pray that the one thing we all hold on to is the line in our prayer, to be more sensitive to God's presence. So graduates, I urge you to place your trust in God and to live the entirety of your lives as a prayer. Cherish your relationships, try new things, love people deeply. Do everything in service to something greater than yourself. And live every day like it is your last. Thank you again, and congratulations to the class of 2026.